Hi, it's Rosie at RoseByNameCo. I've come back again to show you a new journal that I just posted in the Etsy shop, and it is sold, so I'm going to be shipping it off shortly. This one is called Majestic, and it was in a set of 3 that I made of this kind with the collaged front and back as well. I'll show you a little bit more closely in a second. Now this one is the biggest one. The other ones were with 1 signature, and this one has 2 signatures. And the size of this one is also larger than the other ones that I had. This one is about 6 by about 8. I don't know if you can see that. And so I like collaging, and I collage like nonstop all the time, tags and so on. And so I did make these covers a while back, and I just finally had a chance to complete them. So this one has buttons and some threads for texture, and a little bit, sparkly things that I like, and it's a butterfly that I just drew up quickly, and then some of my art here as well. And it's got birds and a sort of a nature or woodland theme a little bit. And in the back as well, butterflies and birds and mushrooms. This is my mushroom as well that I drew. And it's got map and like different things on it. So if you take a good look, you see some fabric, some ribbon, everything that gives you a little bit of texture. I like to put that in. So in the top here, we have some eyelash trim and ribbon tabs. And we have lots and lots of tabs on the sides. I'll show you in a second. And I just use a cotton. I put green on it this time for leaves and trees and so on. So I'm going to show you inside as well. Now it is, the spine is 1.5 inches. And it does have about 128 pages. So it is quite full with stuff and with pages and lots of journaling tags and book pages and coffee stain paper and so on. I do have a couple of charms here and one little pine cone over here, and lots of these tabs that I made from laces and fabrics and ribbons and so on. So it has this cascading look with the color, lots of color. I like color. So on the inside, to begin with, it well, it has this beautiful bird here. This is cardstock pocket with some ribbons, and I did include something to do with camping because that's in the woods and trees, and this is a vintage postcard that I have in my stash, and I have lots and lots of postcards, so I like using them, and I usually try to find something that goes with the theme. So this one is camping and trees, and it gives you a map, how to find it, and a little bit more about it. So I like this. It's a postcard, but you can open up and see a little bit more on it. And over here on the side, you got a bird nest here, and journaling card that I made, and another one here too, and has a little piece of my art on it as well. And this I put in that felt or something of that sort in here, so it's a little bit cushiony. I like that feel of it. And here, look at this beautiful mushroom. This is from a vintage book. Beautiful mushrooms right here. And over here, a see-through pocket. And I just put some things to write on. Coffee stained receipt. And then a little bit of flower tag. And this one is just like for collaging. So I included some different papers that I had on hand. That you can use if you're going to do some kind of collaging in here. This is from a typing book. Remember when we used to learn typing? Yes, yes, yes. Then a little bit of a paper ruffle here. And here as well, paper strip from a vintage book. And here's a little bit more mushrooms, and I sewn all around and put some ribbon, and again gave it some texture. Here's just a small tag. You can write on it in the back. I have a tiny little book with spelling and pronunciation, so I like using that sometimes. And here's another journaling tag with the flower garden. Plan, in case you want to plan for next year, and just a little bit of a strip, sewn strip, if you want to put it somewhere else. And a butterfly here, and eyelash trim, and a bit of my art. It does have the gold on it, like using the metallics a lot, so a little bit of ink staining on this paper. And this is envelope is stenciling, and on this side as well. And inside looks like some maybe geese, and here's some postage stamp if you want to use them in this tiny envelope. Maybe you want to use them somewhere, or use the envelope for something else. This, of course, is from Edith Holden, her beautiful, beautiful paintings. And then a belly band here with a bit of stained paper in yellow, and a bridge card to use. Bit of a sparkly gem here. A little bit of a map just to go with the colors. I like the colors on it. Put a little bit of a tab. This is something that I actually colored in a book, and I didn't get to finish it, but maybe somebody else will finish it. The new owner, perhaps. And a little bit of decoupage. I have some decoupage paper, and I keep forgetting to use it. A little bit of a flower charm here. American magpie. So I have a book about birds and different things, so I like to use things like that. That's a little bit of my mushroom here, and a butterfly. Yeah, with a tab on top. This one's not mine, but it is vintage. One of those printables. And this beautiful spread here. I use two-tone here for the pocket flap. And a little bit more of a collage tag here. A little bit more butterfly, and here's a birdie. This one, look at this one from the back. I think it's so cute. Then more collaging here. A little bit more with, what's it called? A little bit more with decoupage. More coloring book. A little bit more of my mushrooms. And over here, a little bit more for writing. And another belly band. This is ribbon and fabric on here. Just got a little bit of fluff on here. Beautiful page from Edith Holden. Glassine bag here with a little bit of writing, different things for writing spots. And a bit more for writing there. Well, one of those, my art pieces. And here is a see-through pocket, and I used that. I have a punch like this, and I did paint this first, the paper, and then I used the punch and a little bit of a round tag as well, so that not everything is square or some different shapes. A little bit more about the pronunciation. Just a little tiny card. This is my mushroom here. This beautiful sort of pinkish hue, and a little bit of a sparkle too. A bit more about flowers, and a little bit more about mushrooms. I guess which ones maybe you can eat and which maybe you should stay away from. A beautiful page. And here I have in this see-through pocket this little girl. She is went with her dog in the garden, and I just like the picture. I don't know, I found it somewhere, and I thought, well, why not use something like this, of course. And then some collaging here, and this is a little bit of a notebook. So this is the coming to an end of the first signature. A little bit stuck in the sewing tails here. So this one, this is the spine. It's completely fabric, and I used numbers on this one again, like in the other journals. And this one, I just put my, hand in the jar, and I pulled out number 14. And so here we have a little bit about trees. This beautiful tree, I just love it. It's in black and white, but just looks very majestic. which is the title of this journal. Beautiful majestic tree, and over here as well, and a little bit if you want to read about the origin of plants. And it's got each page has a little bit of a writing spot. This one is also camping. This one's maybe later on. It's in color, and I remember camping in a tent like this back in the 80s, I think. This is also in Sand Hill, Ontario. And tab here, a little bit more of a journal tag, and another little notebook just for some extra space for writing in case, or you can collage on it or use the paper somewhere else. How to identify unknown mushrooms. So that's pretty good to know, I think. And there's sketches of different ones with names. And I love the brown paper. I try to use it as much as I can. This is embossed, if you can see a little bit of the design. Another mushroom here, sewn on, collaged, and a bit of a tiny tag. And this opens up. This is a map and opens up to the bottom. You can use it for collaging again and so on, you know, for different things. This one is the receipt and orange collage tag. This one's also embossed. So, you know, so usually collage something on top here where the see-through pocket is, so that you know that there is something that you can put inside there. And a little bit of the eyelash trim, and a little bit more of my painting, stenciling, and here's another playing card. Look at this one, it's a Queen of Hearts, yay! And that I just choose randomly too, so. And some stamps in here if you want to use them somewhere else. And this little floating pocket. Okay, a little bit more about birds. Birds and the bees. No, I don't have bees in this one. I couldn't find any bees at the moment. And just a graph index card, also a little bit embossed. This beautiful walkway here. I love pathways, walkways. I should really do a journal on it. All kinds of walkways. Where do they lead? They always look so mysterious. And Edith Holden. A little bit more flowers here. And these beautiful tabs, I like them hanging out. I like the way they hang out. So I do a lot of that lately. And more about birds. A little bit my mushrooms. And this beautiful sunflower with birds on it eating the seeds. A bit of a round tag there. And the middle of the second signature, and this beautiful butterfly on here. Collaged, and then a journaling card. These beautiful lilacs of different color. Love lilacs too. And on each one I have this little flower as well, the two-tone. This is the other side of that one. Looks like paintbrushes on there. And more birds. A little bit more of my mushrooms. And this is the little pine cone here. I keep saying pine cone. Is it pine cone or pine cone? I don't know, pine cone. And a little bit more roses that are, what's that word again? I keep forgetting. Decoupage, because I don't do a lot of decoupaging, but decoupage. And a little bit more Edith Holden. More extra paper, and this one is also a pathway. Stairs and pathway. Eastern crow. We have a lot of crows here in the backyard. Lots and lots of crows. A little bit of stenciling. And then this one actually, each one has like two pockets on the inside. So you just have to look to see what's where. A little bit more of my art. And here too, a little bit more of my art. And over here as well, a little bit more of collage paper of different kinds. So maybe if you're not do collaging, you can try. try it out. This also flips down. Beautiful colors on this map. And this one says sunset. A bit more of my mushrooms. So lots of my mushrooms in this one. Embossed. And a little bit more from that vintage book. Beautiful illustrations here. And a little bit more. Looks like well, it's inside, or maybe it's a balcony or patio, or one of those like 70s from one of those books. A little bit more mushrooms here. And this see-through pocket. And another pocket here. This is a page from a poem. This is another spring. So let's, get through winter and we'll look again towards spring next year. And a little bit more for writing. And a final collaged journal card. So this is Majestic. Thank you for coming by again and seeing one more of my journals. I have quite a few that I'm still working on. There's always something, ideas are always floating around in my head, and I'm sure every other creator, and we just don't have enough time to do it all, but eventually we get to it. So thank you for watching this video, and have a great day. It's Rosie at RoseByNameCo. Bye-bye.